Okay, so this is the original header that was installed. Remember the one that I showed you in the video where like this B flex pipe was was melted? And the reason why, according to Manzo, well, it's obvious and logical. According to them, damn, I put it on top of the sensor. According to those people, well, the manufacturer, he said because he saw that this wasn't, of course, this didn't have a grommet to my chassis, so now, previous to this, well, the replacement one that I got, we put a solid piece of metal that goes in the thread, and it's real, and it goes into the metal of the subframe, but it's held there, so it's supporting it like this at an angle, so it's giving it, that pressure where it's holding it at upright, so like this is never gonna go down and melt. So the problem with that I saw was that the consistency of the material that they're using. And this is the same part. It's just that I had I think my older brother, he welded it. He welded this piece, and he put this B flex pipe from another manufacturer, and now it's intact. And then this is capped off. Uh, yeah, we didn't need. What was this for? That was for the sensor, if I'm not mistaken. What was it again? Yeah, because I think they. Yeah, that's right. We had the problem. We wouldn't have done this now that I knew this other technique where we took two exact pieces of the O2 sensor, the primary O2 sensor, and we just gave it a homemade extension. So you could do this if you're good at electrical work and you know the signals. This is what you have to do to put this in your Accord, in your USDM 2004 Accord chassis, American chassis, K2484 Accord, coupe or sedan minus a coupe for that instance. My code is EX-L non-Navi. If you go from Honda directly and buy other parts, that's what mine is. EX-L non-Navi. Navigator, non-navigation. I mean, so you would do this little technique right here. So this thing, I'm going to go ahead and sell it because I already have this exact same piece, brand new. But now I'm replacing that as well because I'm putting a higher quality header for my setup. So this all goes together. All you will need is just a gasket, or you can make one. But this is what happens in the end, because I had this on and it works perfect. So you wouldn't have to do this. I only had him do this because he knows how to thread and weld, obviously. So there goes the weld he did. But he also welded this over here, and surprisingly, this has been maintaining the cohesiveness. It's intact. Because over here, as it goes up, this snap, and I usually put 100 pounds right here, and I curl it with my legs to work on my legs, but that it's working correctly. So I know his welding is solid. It just right now, yeah, you see, it looks pretty good, man. You would just have to do this technique. So this is to update the video on where I talked about this header, because the previous people that did that were from, where were they from? They were from what are they called? Meineke, yeah, Meineke Auto Shop. Just the guy that was there didn't know how to weld, and he didn't know how to do stuff right. So, but then my stupidity was that I didn't put the grommet back, because it doesn't go to that chassis. This is for like a different chassis for the TSX. So this part does plug and play. You just have to do this little extra thing. Or you could also buy a homemade one that's already made, and it's called an extender, because that's what I had in the car right now. So I wouldn't have to do this, but you could still do this little. You could get by with this, because I got by with this on the cord running the TSX head. And yeah, you get a little bit of a boost with this header. I mean, believe it or not, you will. The only problem is for my setup now is that you might need to get this bored or open more, get it the diameter, the plenum, get them more opened. Right now we had a restriction of our issue was the restriction of the diameter. We wanted the most openness we can get. But for a cord that's using the A4 head, which is still a good setup, it's still a powerful cord, this is a perfect fit for you. So I wouldn't really bash on the Manzo header. So basically, this is what I'm showing you. You could put this if you follow this technique, or if you were interested in buying this, I would sell it to you, but I'm gonna most likely keep the blueprint, because I still have another one that's exactly the same, but yeah, and it has this too. On that one, it said we're not using the O2 sensor. We bypassed that, if I'm not mistaken. But if you have a cord and you want to put the VTEC head, the TXX, and you want to put this setup, this is what you do. And you'd be running a TSX head on the cord along with the header and then whatever exhaust you put in there. So this is actually a pretty solid little build. So this is what you have to do. Remember, you have to get somebody that welds good and do this welding. Because this big flex pipe came from another manufacturer. You could just go, I mean, I even got it from eBay. I wouldn't recommend everything from eBay because sometimes you get screwed over there. I mean, this thing only costs like $180 when it's brand new. And it doesn't come with this custom extended O2 sensor. And this does fit the chassis of an Accord because this is what I'm using currently. The other one is brand new. It hasn't been used. This was used for like about less than a year. So this is a solid piece, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go ahead and sell this. If the guy don't come, I'm just gonna polish it more and clean it and just retain it. So when I get another Accord, if I'm lucky, I come across a 5-speed Accord, and I retain this. But this is what you want to do, man. That's Manzo right there, Manzo header. It's really for TSX and the chassis of what did I read? It was a C9 chassis over there in Japan and Russia, Australia, and other parts that we don't get those chassis. K24E3, TSX, K24 from over there. But this fits, this plugs in play. So this I recommend it. But for my setup that I have right now, I'll show you. I'm still working on the video. I should have uploaded it since January or February. We were done. But it's gonna be a 2-segment video. It might be about 3 hours long, where you can follow it. And that one is converting your automatic into a standard. And I'm giving you the little insights and techniques and the shortcuts you can take, since I'm already familiar with this car and this chassis. I know what works and what doesn't. So I'm gonna give you the audience, the interested Accord enthusiast builder, or the K power plant user, or really the Accord, because I have an Accord. I mean, this just goes for all Accord users, really. The Accord chassis, the sedan or the coupe. For me, I like the coupe more than the sedan, so I went ahead with that build. But that's pretty much it, man. I'm gonna put that in my videos, and you could tune in. You see, there goes the other box of Manzo header. That's the original one. So. See, that should be the Manzo, right? Or no? Did I throw away the Manzo? I think I did throw it away. There's something else. My bad. I apologize. This is something. This is another box, I think. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so I do have the other Manzo header installed right now, but we're gonna remove that. We're gonna put a better header. I thought I was going with Whip and Art, but it turns out I'm getting a PMLM, which is a little bit more better and open in diameter, and then the plenum. The primary plenums are open much more, and the exhaust is it's also being replaced because of what I talked about, the buildup of pressure and the restriction. So we're covering that. So tune in.